Hello everyone, as usual it's me Pavlo, and today we'll be talking about Tanchjim newest release named Fission. Typically for company it's a single dynamic driver model, but as usual they do their best to push this dynamic driver to their limits. You will be surprised by how many things they've managed to pull out of this driver and how many options they provide you for this price. And actually they cost about $130, which makes them really competitive. And also I expect great design and of course finely tuned sound. So let's check out how these expectations fulfill. Compact but stylish box shows Tanchjim traditional approach to the design, white outer sleeve and their signature pattern on the inner box, bit of technical specifications on the back side, frequency response chart, so all elements we used to see are here. Still admire this pattern on the box. Inside we have some box with tips, with tuning tool. Actually, you can see small screwdrivers that you can use on your keychain, and some papers and the pouch for storage. Then goes earpieces themselves and the tuning filters. As usual, 3 set of filters we've got, and the modular cable with different connectors. You can see that you getting 3.5 millimeter Pentacon and USB Type-C DEC, so which is a really great offer. So in terms of accessories, they exceeding expectations. Design is great. It's a good combination of minimalism and functionality. They have a traditional for Tanchjim shape, but at the same time they managed to find a bit of new elements to distinguish them from the other models. They have a really great level of craftsmanship, but what is most important for a lot of people is that they are pretty compact. They have all edges rounded, so they won't give you any discomfort during long wearing sessions. At least for me, wearing comfort is exceptional, but taking size into account, I'm almost sure that they will fit into vast majority of ears. Faceplates seems to be made of glass. I'm not 100% sure, but I tried to do a puncture test. So sound-wise, it seems to be glass. And on the inner side you can see the spout, and spout also works as a replaceable filter. So deal is traditional here. You unscrew it, if necessary you replace it, and you changing the sound. There are 3 pair of filters marked with different letters. So as I assume, S is steel, T is titan, and C is copper. And actually steel is kind of in between. Titan highlights high frequencies a little bit, and copper makes sound slightly warmer, but actually difference is really minor. Tanchjim doesn't do some kind of drastic filter changes. And you have a second type of tuning, and it's for low frequencies. You can see this marks, and you can see the arrow inside. You just take screwdriver, you rotate it, and basically you've got 4 positions for different amounts of low frequencies. As far as I understand, it's some kind of acoustic tuning. You just opening or closing some vent, but I can be wrong here, so I don't know about their internal structure. And the more you turn it, the less bass you have, so you're getting more natural and more focused on the resolution and the clarity type of tuning. There are 2 vent holes here and here, as usual, hinting that we have drivers that open from both ends, so won't be putting back this tip. And the stock cable is nice. It's attractive, pretty simple, but it does its job really well. I mean, simple in terms of look, but at the same time, it's definitely doesn't look cheap. So 2-pin connectors with slightly recessed socket, but not too much, and using some third-party cable won't be an issue. There are ear hooks formed, and we can see here this modern trendy design with braided cable in silicone tube-like insulation. Splitter with chin slider, and it's about average or slightly softer than average with low microphonic effect, so pretty nice and comfortable cable in everyday usage. And here we have replaceable connectors, so just match groove and notch and pull it and it snaps in place. And here how it looks. We have angle jack here, and it's nice to have a replaceable cable system. Here is the companion app. It's pretty simple, and its main goal is to tweak equalizer if you decide to go with USB Type-C connector with built-in DSP. You can select one of a few official presets. Also, you can enable gaming equalizer for a few different games. So really interesting to see what games considered worthy of having their own preset. Also, there is online storage of equalizer presets where you can download them. Or if you want to do it yourself, you can use a parametric equalizer, selecting frequency band, gain and Q factor, and applying it. Or as far as I understand, you can also upload this preset to their online storage. Simple but straightforward. What else does everyone need? In terms of sound, as you understood, there are a lot of options how to tweak it. You can use different equalizer and presets with DSP. You can use different nozzles. You can use this dial to select one of 4 positions in terms of bass to suit your tastes, but I will describe the stock option. First of all, it's really nice. And also it will give you a baseline, and you can just project in your mind that you can get it slightly warmer, slightly brighter, and you can reduce amount of deeper and mid bass with this toggle. So basically it's a really well-tuned, really technical dynamic driver earphones that delivers great sound. Basically what we can expect from Tanchjim and the tunings. They don't try to be some kind of fun tuning. Actually, on frequency response they look pretty V-shaped in the signature, but in reality bass is not that big here, and high frequencies is not that forward as they look on the frequency response. So let's probably describe it step by step. Bass goes to the maximum depths, but deeper layers of bass are slightly recessed, and the bass makes main focus on small nuances and texturing. It's more tuned for the natural instruments, for some audiophilic recordings, acoustic tunes. With electronic music you're getting deep rumble, you're getting pretty tight and impactful punch, but it's not like on that level that we used for modern earphones. But instead we getting superb realism for the real instruments when you don't need dominating low frequencies. And if you need more bass, you can always use equalizer, so that's a pretty fixable thing. But by default, bass is not fatiguing, which I really like, because I'm getting tired of that super punchy bass pretty fast, and offers great realism. Of course, it transitions absolutely flawlessly to the mid frequencies and doesn't bleed on the mids, staying on its place always, providing you great separation and clarity. And first example is Skullclub by the Glitch Mob. And that's an example where probably a lot of people would like to boost bass a little bit, because such music requires that bass will be super hard hitting. For me, it's enough of punch and impact here, but it's just my subjective preference. And Zitto by Musica Nuda, it's actually an example where they definitely shine. That double bass sounds absolutely stellar, with proper size, with all that sense of string and deck resonance, and building a great contrast with vocal, providing you really audiophilic pleasure here. Mid frequencies are natural, they provide a great amount of small nuances and details, but at the same time, the details are not exaggerated. So earphones are critical for the quality of record, but not too much. They don't highlight issues. It's more a matter of pushing them to their limits. So with better records, they will sound much better, and it's really worth it to invest your time in finding some remasters and stuff like that. Great realism, pretty spacious imaginary stage with a lot of air, but at the same time not overdone, not overblown, not too dispersed. Width is slightly bigger than depth, but depth is also done in a neat and accurate way. And when necessary, they deliver good amount of that sense of spaciousness and epicness. Upper mids are boosted, but not too much, so no super piercing or sharp vocal or super aggressive guitars. And first example is right about the guitars and vocal too. Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses, when there is too much of accent on the upper mids. Both guitars and vocal here sound a bit sharp for ears, but not the case for these earphones. Just great amount of everything. And Gary Moore, Over the Hill and Far Away. I like Nightwish version more, but original is also pretty fancy, and I like how these earphones deliver that intro part with drums and guitar. And the treble, actually, it's extension above average, but not too much. But at the same time, you're getting nice, pretty airy treble, but not overly airy like it happens with balanced armatures from time to time. Basic layering, but done in a pretty accurate way, and good overtone saturation, both for basic and extended overtones. Really proper attacks and decays provide you good sense of realism for the acoustic instruments. Despite of being slightly accented, to my ears treble doesn't sound sharp or fatiguing, probably because of really well executed tuning. And the first example, it's Hoff Ensemble, Red Mama. Absolutely stellar in terms of quality, I mean record. Earphones lacking a bit of layering on the treble, but for this price, this track sounds superb. That subdued, calm piano that just shows you some pictures of quiet winter night, absolutely marvelously recorded. So northern jazz in its finest form. And Emerson, Lake and Palmer, A Time and a Place. Actually not perfectly recorded track, unfortunately slightly dirty, but at the same time with a lot of complex keyboards and guitars, and these earphones play it really well, partially because treble is not super extended and they don't boost these issues too far. In terms of pairing, Tanchjim got your back covered. You have USB Type-C with DSP in the accessory set, so you can easily use it with smartphone, laptop, tablet, or anything you'd like. Or if you want to use them with your existing deck or player, they have a good amount of scalability, and even with mid-segment players, they scale pretty well, showing all their potential. And in terms of comparisons, just, I don't know, just a pair of models. Let's make it shorter. First one worth mentioning here is Heidi's MK12 that I recently covered. Because it's also a single dynamic driver model, but it has more powerful bass when it's necessary, it has more punch when it's necessary. It's not highlighting it, but when necessary it can provide you a bigger punch. And also they are slightly more forward in the treble area, so here we have a bit more restrained type of representation, slightly more focused on the naturalness and more comfortable listening. And another model by Tanchjim, Origin, that a lot of people consider as one of the best dynamic drivers in their price segment. Probably, I'd say that here you're getting like 85% of Origin with pretty similar tuning, but Origin being slightly more impactful on the low frequencies, a bit tighter, and they are more refined in the treble area, providing you more rich treble. So, in short, Fission is a great release by Tanchjim, offering well-tuned dynamic drivers done in a Tanchjim way with a really reasonable price. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a great day.